London is famous for many things. Double-decker red buses, overpriced tourist attractions, and people trying to balance on logs. But did you know London is also a green city? But what does that mean? Let me tell you. It means that there's over 3,000 parks in the city. They cover 18% of the area, which is more than the railways and the roads combined. Now, naturally, you won't have enough time to go to all 3,000, and I guess neither will I. I like to pretend I've got a life. But I have narrowed down some of my favorites to show you. This is London's best parks, and today, where am I? I'm in Brockwell Park. Hope you enjoy. So why exactly is Brockwell Park so dear to me, you might be wondering? Well, first of all, my grandmother lives in an estate just over there. So close, in fact, I could probably pick up a rock, throw it, and hit her while she's standing on the balcony. So close, in fact, that the parakeets that you might see flying around today, they come over to steal food from the bird feeder. Now, there's a second reason why Brockwell Park is so important to me. When I was a child, we used to spend a lot of time in London, and we used to come to Brockwell Park for like an exploration. It was our own private garden. Of course, we let other people use it because we weren't selfish. So come, and I will show you around Brockwell Park. Brockwell Park is the jewel in South London's crown, which means at least once a week somebody tries to steal it. It's located only a few minutes from Herne Hill Station and just about 20 minutes from Brixton. It is a Garden of Eden in South London. And I mean that literally as well as metaphorically. All the people in the video today are actually naked. We've taken a lot of time and effort to edit the clothes on them. And there are a lot of people. In fact, Brockwell Park gets over 4 million visits per year. Although of course most of those have been me during lockdown. Right, Brockwell Park opened to the public in 1891, and here in the centre of the park is Brockwell Hall, also known affectionately as the Big House. It stands on the site of St. Thomas's Hospital, not the one in central London, but the one in the Middle Ages. Now, there's a connected bit of trivia regarding that. During the ceremony back in 1891, the MP who was in charge of opening Brockwell Park to the public actually died halfway through the ceremony. Is it ironic, bad luck, or just coincidental? We'll never know. But despite this ominous start, the local residents decided to open Brockwell Park anyway, and it soon became a roaring success.
Now, the world is moving awfully fast, so let's take a moment to just enjoy some old-fashioned photographs. Oh my god, it's in black and white. Look at it. It's a house. It's a bandstand. Where's the bandstand now? Nobody knows.
Right. So you might be wondering what my favourite part of Brockwell Park actually is. It is a tough choice, but if I had to narrow it down to one, it'd probably be this duck pond here behind me. Home to ducks, naturally, swans, pigeons cooing behind me, and the occasional displaced seagull. You might not be able to imagine it right now, but a few weeks ago it was totally frozen solid. And I spent quite a lot of time actually, more time than I'd like to admit, watching a baby swan, a cygnet, climb up onto the ice, standing there proudly for a moment before the ice crashed and it fell into the water. It then did it over and over and over and over, climbing back onto that ice before falling back through. It kind of reminded me of the last few minutes of Titanic, when Leonardo DiCaprio is desperately trying to get onto the door. Truly harrowing stuff, although I guess you had to be there. Now, you might be looking at all that water and feeling a bit jealous that you can't go for a swim also, but don't despair, because in this park there is also a duck pond for humans. This is it, the Brockwell Lido. Now, some people would call it a duck pond for humans, I prefer to call it a swimming pool. It is open air, meaning you can look up at the planes arriving at Heathrow Airport, or the snow as it starts to fall on your head, or the full moon if it's open at night, which I haven't actually researched. But it is really nice, and if you don't really fancy going swimming, there is actually a pizzeria just around the corner that I frequent, where you can go and spy on those brave enough to go in the water. And if you need further encouragement to go swimming, there's also a statue of the shark from the movie Jaws. If you make it down to Brockwell Park today, you're in for a fabulous view of a dog trying so hard to catch a stick. The poor thing doesn't realise that it's actually part of a tree. But there is one other view in Brockwell Park that's even more famous, and it is that of the ever-changing London skyline. You can see the Shard, the Sky Garden, and of course the tall Knobbly Wonder, which is standing proudly over the city. So by now you have probably realised that Brockwell Park is home to lots of different animals, and most of them are really friendly. Earlier today I had a pigeon in my hand, which was a first. I've never had a pigeon in my hand, can you believe that? And I decided that what I need to do now is to improve on that, because a pigeon isn't impressive enough. What you might not know about me is that I'm actually a squirrel whisperer. I can make any squirrel come to me just by making this sound. And I shall prove it for you. Ready? There's one right over there. He's looking at the ground, trying to find an acorn that he buried. Chances are he won't find it, because they don't find 74% of those they bury. Quiz fact. Come on, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. And here he is. Ah, there we go. Who's a good squirrel?
It's that time of the week again, folks. It's time for human interaction. Oh yeah.
My favourite things in the park. Well, I live in Cressingham Gardens, and so I'm in a one-bed flat with my daughter. So we have no actual backyard. So we've got the communal grass areas on Cressingham Gardens, and that sort of just flows into the park. So I suppose for me, the park is basically just my backyard. It's my extension of my backyard. That's how it feels, and it's quite spacious actually.
Yeah. Hello, random person. Jenny, do you like Brockwell Park?
No. I love it.
Yay!
And now I'm going to head over to Brockwell Park Community Garden. I'm meeting with Joshua, one of the volunteering gardeners, who's going to show me behind the scenes and give me an exclusive of what's going on. And as we go there, I think there's only one song that I can use as a backing track. So, Worldwide Welshman, take it away.
Take you to the community garden to meet the community. Take you to the community garden to meet all my friends.
I think the thing I love most about this place is the sense of kind of consistency to it. You can come here throughout the year, you can watch the changing of the seasons, you can propagate things in the greenhouse, you can plant them out in the growing beds, you can watch them grow. A lot of the trees that you'll see here are kind of traditional British soft fruit trees. The ones that are not super fashionable, you're not going to, not orange juice or anything like that, but it's medlars, quinces and stuff like that. We turn those into jams, into jellies, even with 2020 and 2021 being, challenging for, a whole variety of reasons. We're still here. We're still, volunteers are still coming onto site. They're still making the place look beautiful. We're still producing stuff for the local community. The shop is still open, selling plants to local people. We're using our electric tuk-tuk to do food package deliveries on behalf of the Healthy Living platform in Brixton. So we're helping communities who are really struggling get the stuff that they need. Despite the storm, we are still here and we're still doing something really, really valuable.
Don't touch the flowers. Don't touch the strawberries. Don't touch the cabbages. They're not for you, they're for the community. Take you to the community garden to meet the community.
And it's really nice actually to just sit back in the park, find a quiet spot underneath what will one day probably be a tree, have a drink, in my case a ginger beer, and a delicious slice of freshly made pizza. That looks very nice. If you do happen to come here, you might bump into me walking around and using this as an excuse to not think about the worries of the world, at least for a little while. Next time I'll be going somewhere else, so make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell for any notifications. But in the meantime, thank you for watching London's Best Parks. Take it easy.
Roll credits.
Brockle Park, do 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 do. A Brockle Park, do 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 do. A Brockle Park, do 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 do. Brockwell Park. Ah.